it does teach you much more than any other university or, any course, any studies can give you. Try to come up with a name that makes sense for your users. Don't call your company stupid poopy if it's going to be a portfolio tracker tool.
Hey Adonia, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. So basically, I didn't ask last time where are you based? Like, are you somewhere in the world?
Yeah, well, officially in France, and we're also opening an office in Barcelona in a couple of months. But for now, everyone is like everywhere else in the world.
So, and you, Natalie, are you also in Spain?
No, I'm actually in Turkey now. Yeah.
Okay. In Istanbul?
No, not in Istanbul. In Antalya, it's Mediterranean coast. Where are you based? In London, I guess?
No. I wouldn't be so crazy. On the paper, yes, I'm still in the UK, where it's like my official residence, but I do travel quite a lot, especially in the south of Europe lately. Right now, I'm in a ski resort in summer, which is called Bansko, but I'm only here, it's a place I really like because I don't like when in Europe it's too hot, so I try to escape and I like to be in the mountains. However, I'm going to spend summer in the north of Europe, so I'm flying on Sunday I have my flight. I'm going first to Poland and then I'm going to Latvia. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy the rainy season. It's pretty cloudy there, 15 degrees, sounds perfect for me.
No, so you don't like hot weather?
No, I usually I go to the beach in September, October. I'm Italian originally, so like my family lives there, like my parents and, my brother, my sister. So I go to visit them usually in September.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
But
everyone in France right now, they're fighting somewhere from the heat. They say it's very hard right now in Europe. I think they went to Alps, for a couple of weeks just to cool down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I guess we're all ready to start, right? So just to give a little bit of the background for this call, so we're making a little video series about the use cases of our clients. You'll notice that we have a lot of startups coming to us and they're genuinely confused on how to build stuff, how to promote their products. And that's why we wanted to talk to our existing customers who could maybe share their experience with us as a provider and in general, like your startup journey and things that you discovered along the way. So that's why we're here today. Could you give maybe a brief intro about your products and how do you help your users?
Absolutely. So I'm the founder of ProStock Tracker. ProStock Tracker is a portfolio tracking platform specifically for long-term investors. So what's accurate and clear and a clear picture of the performance, how the investment are really performing. We track stock, ETFs, mutual funds, gold, crypto, and forex across multiple exchanges. And this is where EODHD has been really helping us to have accurate and reliable data from basically nearly is an absolute coverage, especially regarding stocks. What set us apart as a company is that we provide depth. Today you may find many tools. We have historical tools like Yahoo Finance or Morningstar and other tools, but we have been focused on providing reporting that are really tailored for long-term investors who want to understand how the investment are evolving. Especially one of the best reports we have is our performance calculation report. We do provide very accurate performance calculation. This is to our way we calculate performance. We use a money-weighted rate of return methodology, which is not the internal rate of return or any of these variations, but has been custom made by our company. We have been working for months on really shaping best accurate performance you can find today in the market. So it's really designed for anyone who wanted to manage their own investment, from individual investors to small advisors, and who want powerful reporting with clear and very depth calculations and insights.
Sounds amazing. What would you say are one or two maybe key features that your users love the most?
Oh, okay. So one already mentioned it is the performance report. So this is due to the accuracy of our money-weighted rate of return calculation. We have been talking also with chief financial officers or, like association of corporate finance. They went through our methodology. Again, this is our custom-made methodology, so it's not something you can find in in any financial book, and it reflects the real investment journey that the user has. So sophisticated investors, I think performance is one of the most important key parameters for any investors. I mean, this is very important, for asset managers. It's the only way you can really say if a strategy is working or not. So having accurate performance or individual investment, the overall portfolio, this is really important. Another one is how we automatically track dividends and income distributions. This across different assets, so users don't need to do any manual work.
Yeah, so I guess technology is one of the key advantages, but you take the data to build technology on top of that. So what exact data from EODHD you use that helped you build these features?
Yes, we specifically use 3 sets of data from EODHD, which is like the end of the day price, dividends, and corporate actions such splits and reverse splits. This allows us to provide accurate performance to our users, and so that they can see the full picture and see if there is any changes in their income or any corporate changes due to splits or mergers. Those are for us like 3 important data sets, and EODHD has been really a strategic partner to provide reliable data on really like on a consistent base.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, that sounds amazing. So how would you evaluate the onboarding and the implementation process when you just started working with the data? Was it easy to implement like documentation, or maybe you were confused with something?
No, during, our developers, when we went through the EODHD documentation is very clean and very easy to use. The API is very well documented on the website. It's also, they are also very stable, so we didn't have any problem during our testing. We didn't have to worry about, reaching out support to ask clarification. This is very often the case when you are going to implement a third-party tool. You often have documentation who are basically not that comprehensive, but this was not the case with EOD.
Were you the one choosing the provider? Did you go for the search process, like Googling for data providers?
Yes, it was me. This was like 2-3 years ago, and so I remember I made this big spreadsheet with all the providers I found on the internet. So we have the very popular ones, and then I saw EODHD. I'm an engineer, so I tend to put everything on a spreadsheet and do comparison table. And then I did send some emails to see also having the feeling about support and do you have like a general feeling if you can trust the company you are going to build a project with. This is going to be months and months of work, so you really want to make sure everything is working smoothly. So yeah, I was impressed by the global coverage that the EODHD could provide, and the pricing was very transparent, the API was clean, as I said, and especially our team was also very responsive when I had any question.
Sounds good. Do you have any other recommendations to other startups who just want to build something and they need to start with looking for a data provider? Do you have recommendations on what things to take a look at?
Yes, the most important thing is, of course, like when you're building is like having something that is reliable. So, you should see if a company, how long has been in the market, and if the team is responsive, if you have any question. EOD really provides a very large asset data set. So it's, I think like it really does feel more the vast majority of use cases about using financial data. I can see over the years is now increasing probably every 2-3 months. I can see you guys are implementing new features, are providing new data sets. So it's really expanding the universe of, and this is very important because when you start with a platform, you want to first provide some features. So you may need like a few data sets, but as you expand, you may want probably to provide new reporting to your users, so you're going to need more data. And so it's good to start with financial data provider who can support to grow along the journey of the company. And so yes, definitely. So if I can recommend is like support. So check if like the team is like replying when you have any question, if there is any problem, the documentation, how long it has been in the market, and the data coverage they provide. As particularly the financial market is very important to have like very accurate data. Also like the global coverage that the EODHD provide is very remarkable.
Yeah, actually, I think it's a great point that you need to have a provider that you can scale this, because I've seen on the market when startups have to waste a lot of time when they want to add something, they have to look for another provider to go through the implementation stages again, which takes a lot of time and money when you can just add the data feed and move forward with it. Or if you need to test something, you can just test and use one data feed, then the other markets. So it's very important to move fast and iterate. So yeah, thank you for highlighting this point. I think it's very important. I think we briefly discussed it already, but how would you say your DHD affected your business overall? Like your goals as a business, maybe in scaling or in building? How do you see that?
Yes, so basically, one of the important things is you need to focus on what you want to do. So for us was like, the goal was to provide the most accurate performance reporting you may find in the market. And we don't want to use our time, to manage data related issues, So I've seen like in the past, I've been working in other projects in finance, and, we had that other providers where data sometimes was not that reliable. And this increase, of course, like consume a lot of time for the team. You have a lot of support tickets coming from the users. So it's going to shift the focus from building the platform to managing, ticket issues and, like all this sort of stuff. So we did see that working with EODHD, we really did see a drop in data-related support tickets, and user can get better and reliable results. So this is important for our user, and this is important for us because we can save time, we can save costs, and use this time and our energy to invest in the platform.
Okay, sounds good. So it's a lot about keeping your users happy and at the same time saving for you, so you don't have to do the data management. Do you have an estimation of how much time did it help you save?
85%. Does it sound good?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a pretty good number.
For me, everything above 8 is okay.
Okay, sounds lovely. What do you see as the next steps for you as a company? Where are you planning to grow?
Yes, now at the moment we are, working on new reporting features. So we are expanding our analytics that we want to provide to our users. And on this side, we are now, looking at new API, new data sets from EOD that can help us build this reporting. So this is one part. The other part, we want to improve the onboarding experience of our users. So we are in talk with different brokers worldwide, the most important brokers, to implement basically the synchronization of users' accounts with these brokers, so they don't need to manually add transactions in the future. The ISL will be automatically synchronized with brokers, and this will help streamline the user experience and make our portfolio tracker more seamless, and so we save time to users and improve the overall user experience.
Sounds good. Always important to improve user experience. Do you think EODHD can help you support these goals?
Yes, absolutely. So we are already looking at new data sets that the EODHD has been releasing in the last year. We were very impressed by the speed of new data that the EOD is able to provide. Also, for example, just to mention one is the new auction API. And so as we evolve, we see EODHD as our strategic partner and give our user the tool they need to really stay on top of the investment, track their performance, and make better investment decisions. So it does feel like a true partnership.
We feel the same. So as a closing word, maybe you have some insights that you would like to share with other startups, maybe not just about data in general, but maybe marketing, maybe products. whatever you discovered along the way.
Okay, so it's every startup has its own journey, and there is not really a playbook, but probably this is probably something funny, but try to come up with a name that makes sense for your users when you try to build a new company. Don't call your company Stupid Poopy if it's going to be a portfolio tracker tool. Sorry, this was a bit.
No, I mean it's good.
Not the best suggestion. No, but it does help. Really, jokes aside, it does help user understand what your tool is about. It does help for branding. It does help for SEO. This is beyond, what is the discussion and things today. Probably is something, if you go on internet, you may find a lot of suggestions and advices. So I don't need to come up with something like that has been said many times. But sometimes I see company, they start with, branding is very important. Branding is very important. Users need to clearly understand what is the product about. Google needs to understand what the product's about. So starting with a good name, it's a good domain is very important.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, EODHD is a good example because basically the name was chosen for the SEO purposes first. Yeah, basically when you look for end of day historical, we pop up. It just because it's our name, even though now we don't serve only historical data. But yeah, that was the choice. I think it was made in 2017. It was a very rapid pivot from a portfolio tracker to a data provider. So our founder was just like, okay, EODHD, that works. And yeah, it's been going like that since 2017 and it worked.
And that's how I found it, because I did digits on Google historical price data, and of course, it did help a lot, to be on the top of the results.
Yeah, amazing. Let me know if you want to share something else about data, startups, whatever you have on your mind. Is there something?
In the startup world, is very exciting. It's an exciting world. You meet a lot of cool, visionary people, and I believe it's very something I would suggest to everyone try to build their own business. Even just for fun, just to give it a try, is living stability and what makes you feel safe. From having your stable job, it's something that really help you, and it does teach you much more than any other university or any course, any studies can give you. So it's life teaching, which is something everyone should probably experience. It's not compulsory though.
Yeah, that's true. That's the whole journey, and you cannot really learn it by reading a book. You need to try. Thank you, Adonia, for sharing these insights and about your experience with EODHD. That's really valuable, I think, for every startup out there who's still confused, looking for data, or doesn't know what to do. Thank you for joining today and sharing that.
Thank you very much for inviting me and sharing this experience, and thank you also for supporting the growth of the company. I did really appreciate. Now it's probably 3 years we are working together, and I did really appreciate the partnership. We are growing the trust in business. You may provide data, you may provide very cool stuff, but then it's also important to provide support, to provide trust, to provide sense of partnership, which is something that it's a very good moat for a company to have, because once you build that trust, it's very hard to take away. And going with another provider, you don't know. You may know if they have the data, but you don't know if you will have the same experience. Thank you very much as well.
Perfect.